Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Saucy McCoodlefist, and in the last one, some interesting shit actually happened. Zach went to jail for breaking into Hana's mansion, and we saw like a haunted version of Hana. She came after us, and then it cut to black, and now we're playing as Marianne McCullough, and this is the start of Chapter 4, I believe. So let's get started. It's 7:15 p.m. The numbers are so little on the top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can just hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have perfectly good excuse, jeez. Considering I didn't follow any typical office hours, they can't really expect me to be able to just go as I please at 30 on the dot, at 5:30 on the dot. The client is, first and foremost, my priority. I like her apartment. I have to sit right I have to sit tight when my personal assistant Chris tells me we have a big one coming up and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more about who's who and what's what when it comes to these socialites, and I trust that judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people and their drama and their politics. These are the sorts that were born with silver spoons in their mouth and who are used to wagging their silver tongues about. Wagging? I let him handle the negotiations with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? Okay, so she have an assistant, that's right. But he told me I'd receive a message about an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, to an extent. Sort of. Pressing my head against the table, I try to stave off any upcoming headache or oncoming headache, and when the notification for a new email pops up, all I'm expecting it to say is, "Hey, looks like I got a new project I found. Go send them a design," or something like that, really. That's how it often goes. Even with these rich, jammy clients who have heard of me from the equally rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is all in well, good and reasonable. We figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts for their projects, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Baruthiel for you. Okay, see if I can read this. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Baruthiel for you. Just please take this one project. I promise this person is huge in Luxborn. Hold on, I gotta scratch my nose. This email and any attachments are intended only for the sole addressee. If you are an unintended recipient, then you have been sent this in error. Any unauthorized use of this information is strictly prohibited. Okay. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McCullough, hereinafter called the Designer. As authorized by Hana Wright, hereinafter called the Client, for interior design work at the Ermengarde Mansion, LX18 ORF, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designers there on 21 October, Friday, with the time pending. But as I open the mail and see that I've been requested by the client specifically, well, I certainly didn't expect that, and it's pretty straightforward too. Anyone else would probably be excited. They would be working with Hana Wright. Would be excited that they would be working with Hana Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites that everybody loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune out such nonsense. It would have been enough for me to reply an affirmative to Chris and leave, but he has probably never pleaded for me to take the project before. When we've worked with big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, and even a few politicians, my PA has been indifferent about those. So the question bounced around my skull is, before I spy on one email attachment, a newspaper clipping from the Luxborn's Daily Business News section boasting the headline, Wright Enterprise donates 2.5 mil to refugee. See if I can read this. At the grand opening of the new Wright Hotel last Wednesday, our local billionaire couple, Luke and Hana Wright, announced the donation of this 2.5 million pounds, I guess, to help Luxbourne Refuge keep their services open. Unexpected but certainly welcome. The fullness of a something after the couple's previous donation of the amount to Save the Children UK. Man, this is really hard to read. One of the largest donations, the amount will help keep the safe house in Luxbourne open for several years with the money. Refuge can be helping women, children, and victims of domestic violence. There are rumors as well that the charity talking with the couple, are looking into building a local center equivalent to their Gates and something locations. These rumors have come to us due to one of the enterprise's employees mentioning a project EOS? Okay, I don't know. That was really hard to read. It certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently they had been invited to businessmen and socialites everywhere in the guise of being some big business announcement.
2.5 mil and an expensive looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Now that is what I call callous. They're going to do a lot of good and help a community of people with all those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts, whether they were for show or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at that picture that came along with the clipping. Because, wow, I know, Hana is banging. I'm just saying. Here I am, expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and a skirt, and you got a hottie with a body. But that woman that was plastered on the front page looks like she belongs on the front page of an entertainment section, or even, if I am to be crass, as the pinup for a glamour. Okay, I'll be real here, a men's magazine. She sure knows how to rock that dress. Is she wearing a dress? She looks like she's wearing pants. But whatever. Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. At the same time, she is her, only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Mac. The world is full of pretty blondes. It's just a coincidence. Just a coinky-dink. Just a coinky-dink. With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach out for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. That I still don't move from my chair, face flushed and heart racing. I can only stare until I will myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to adjust close to the image, shut down the computer, and leave. Even then, it has already burned into my head, its image into my head, no matter how much I would just like to disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol and the company. It makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. British stereotypes, going to the pub. The Galloway Shawl, as it is called by those who frequented the place, is the only decent Irish pub in this county. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. My home away from home ever since I've moved to Luxbourne. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working anyway. It's good for the alcohol, good company, and thank God St. Cecilia Thank God and Saint Cecilia. Good music. Crowd favorites like Bothy Noise, the High Wesleyan Men, and Second Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could just break into a drinking song, and others in the pub were just wonderful when they started singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best of ways to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus, and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What a better time than to try to sing all my worries away? That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
Damn. But drinking only reminds me of my home, and the thought of home makes me think of her. Who is this her that Hana,
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
Who is the her that Marianne is talking about, I wonder? It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
'Cause that might be just the booze. Any other day I would have scolded?
I lied
Scolded.
to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked the screen when I shouldn't have. I missed a little bit of dialogue there, but it'll be okay. I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you.
Am I the only one who finds this music just a little cringe? I mean, just a little cringe.
'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride to be. So give her hand, Galway shawl.
Considering the state I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise among the pub's patrons. Because, possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as any to belt out in front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight. And I forget for a short while. Forget of her.
That song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good. You rock, Marianne.
Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh?
Read 'em and weep, bitches.
Kamala's diamond... Kamala? Like Kamala Harris? Kamala's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for the whole world to see. She has reason to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asks her the big question. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am.
Yeah.
But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
I like the cigarette she's holding. Of course, if something like Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor, I can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers! Cheers.
Well, we will both be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I. Haruna, it's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. I'm happy she's smiling again and pigging out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. Yeah, we met in yoga class, something I had joined to keep myself in shape and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I moved to Luxborn. Clearly it worked like a charm. And it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky D20 die with me on the first day. No, sir. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man.
Oh no, she's 30 and doesn't have a man. I'm 30 and I don't have a man.
And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Oh, come on. That's a lame excuse and you know it. You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now. Maybe some hunk who'll be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Does everybody know? Oh, Mr. Wright, not like Luke Wright, the guy. Okay, never
Hey,
mind.
look at me, I'm Marian McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
I mentioned druids and demons once. They don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. So she's like a secret, like Dungeons and Dragons nerd, and her friends are making fun of her for it. That's kind of interesting, I guess, to learn about Marianne. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I'm a far cry from a miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right.
You know what? Arugula, or whatever your name is, that's exactly what I was thinking, and I was waiting for this game to bring it up. I was like, is Marianne, like, into the ladies? Like, and I know I said this back in, like, episode 1 that I shipped Isabella and Rose, who are both dead now, by the way, but, yeah, this is obviously an interesting twist.
Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That's hilarious.
That would explain some things. Howdy now, you don't have a ring anymore. Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the louder the tease until the other people in the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulder and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
I know that they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Kamala notices my silence and Haruna sees the expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with the massive hangovers anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass, they smile, we drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually, the fun times end. It is a weekday, after all. And with Haruna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Cam also has a loving fiance waiting for her at home, and really didn't have time to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. What? Cam also has a fiance waiting for her at home, and really didn't have time to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Wouldn't that mean, like, cause, like, a fire? Really? I understand. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed and drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit. Alone at last. Alone with a stranger. I haven't seen him before here, obviously not a regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there, savoring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and lighter in the other, it doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet, and maybe I should go before he does look my way. Because he was pretty and he was blonde, and those two things plus alcohol never did me any good. Just taking a little break from reading for a second. Don't mind me. Do. Okay, we're back. And a thought too late. Judging by the way his flushed face and the dazed look in his eyes, he's as pissed drunk as I am. He looks normal to me. But whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just put the air in one of those men's who think he just put the air of one of those men who think that they own the world. He just has the air. Okay, I'm sorry.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see. Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Fat chance. But it also doesn't matter. We both know how to play this game. And there are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. The question is, what do I want to do? Oh shit, are we going to make a good decision here?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
That's funny. He looks like he's about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep, he gets off on another whiskey, and we start a customary small talk. Of course, the saying, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, ordering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I have come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, and takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he likes to call me, is 29, and I'm... What did I say I was again? Oh yes, I told him I was a professional chocolate taster, because, fuck it, if I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. It was a pretty decent chance between two pretty drunk strangers, a decent chat. And maybe it's just me, we might as fucking well expend the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful about in this meeting. Would have been nice too if it was just left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
That's an interesting item off the bucket list there, Mr. Right. And to think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
St. Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she were so lucky, anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Though not every suitor was gallant, and she was no fool, she had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
So she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He had a peculiar sense of humor, hasn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in a chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
Saint Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from sin. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you. And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream. You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
What the fuck? Alright, we are going to end it off here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.